for the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstocks. This is their Brock Leonard Memorial 50 event. Starting on the pole of heat race number 1 from Brantford, the Mead Mechanical, David Griffin, Century 21, Praxair. Number 1 is Chris Dickey. On his outside from Caster Center, the DNS Auto Repair, number 28 of Jim Lampman. For number 2 on the inside from St. Catharines, the Galetta Flooring, Traveling Sets, Greaves Automotive, 00 for James Thompson. On his outside from Cambridge, the Affordable Towing and Recovery, Gary Dunn Auto Service, 04 for Wyatt Van Wart. For number 3 on the inside of 4C is Chris Crawford. The 38C out there is John Cote. Then it's the 8 of Dale Jacari, the 14 Johnny Lowenberg, 33 Jack Myers, 57 Murray Nichols, and the 85H of Tyler Anderson. Top 6 will transfer out of our heat races.
As they get onto the back straightaway, a couple of the strongest ones are up there now. Thompson on the inside, Dickey on the outside, looking for top 6 positions tonight.
Right now it is Dickey by a nose on lap number 1. Thompson now gets to the inside. Here comes Lampman up into the fight as well, and Van Wart is 4th now, Crawford 5th, and Cote in the 6th and final transfer.
Jim Lampman here in the 28 trying to get a shot at the leaders, but he just needs to run in that spot to put him in, but it could change a lot tonight depending on where you finish in this heat race.
The top 3 in the heat races will redraw for their feature starting spots, so it's important for Lampman to maintain that spot or move up if he can. Right now it's Thompson in the lead with Dickey 2nd now, then Lampman, then Van Wart. Then it's side by side behind them between Cote and Crawford.
Yeah, top 3 is really crucial in these qualifying heat races, or else you're going to find yourself starting deep from 13th on back. And if you can finish in the top 3, you got a shot from 12th up to the pole. So Thompson wants to be the first one to pick out of the bag tonight, and he's got that position, but Dickey is on his tail.
So Thompson has the lead, but as you mentioned, Dickey is right there in the 2nd spot. Then it is Jim Lampman 3rd, Van Wart 4th, as he tries to make a move for that final redraw spot on Lampman.
As they work to the inside of 1, Dickey trying to get a shot here at Thompson, but Van Wart on the outside trying to take that position away from Lampman. And they get around the slow car here, Tommy.
Yeah, they move through and put a lap on Murray Nichols as he tries to nurse that car to the infield. We'll stay green for the moment with Thompson up front. Here comes Van Wart taking over the 3rd spot from Lampman.
Thompson right down on the rail. Van Wart coming back trying to grab 2nd now. Van Wart works it to the outside, and he'll push it to the high side in 3. Lampman digging back on the bottom, but it's all James Thompson to the white flag.
So Thompson has a feature win already this year at Ohsweken. He would love nothing more than to get that $1,800 paycheck in his pocket. Here comes Van Wart for the 2nd spot on Dickey.
Crawford in the final transfer position in the 4C with a few of them behind him, wishing they were up a bit more. Checkers down for Thompson, Dickey. Van Wart will make the redraw. Lampman looks like he'll start 13th tonight. Cote and Chris Crawford, your unofficial top 6 qualified cars of the qualifying race 1, the Brock Leonard Memorial Street Stock Special tonight.
He raced number 2 for the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstocks heading onto the track. Starting on the pole from Niagara Falls, the 05 is Pete Reed. On his side from Dundas, the Great Lakes Brewery Installation number 81 is Carl Salt. On his outside from Hagersville, the Timpson Auto Service, Caledonia Auto, Napa number 23 for Trevor DeBoer. For number 3 on the inside, from Ohsweken, the Town Line Variety, Gales Auto Aftermarket, Hess Auto Tech 777X for Steve Hess. On his outside from Caledonia, the Laurie Shooting Sports, Corvettes of Southern Ontario, 48 for Mike Graham. Behind them is the 71 of Frank Turkey Jr. from Ohsweken. The 38, also from Ohsweken, is Terry Martin. In the 66 from Ohsweken, it's the Longboats Junkyard 66 Brady Longboat. The 117 Don Wilson from Cayuga, and the 93 Weekend Toys Ride for Melissa Miller from Ohsweken.
Great as that, you got a mouthful, Tommy. Crazy that most tracks are getting this number of cars, and we've got 4 heat races of them tonight. Amazing. Winger in the Big Moose. Deuce here up to the high side. Up turns 3 and 4. Pete Reed, and of course Carl Salt, but here comes DeBoer on the inside.
So again, 11 cars started this, 44 in total signed in tonight. The top 6 will transfer out of this heat And right now, that is the 48 of Mike Graham, but he's got Frank Turkey right on his tail end in the 71. Up front, it's all Lee Winger pulling away from Pete Reed.
Turkey comes back to the middle here in the 71 and puts a move. As DeBoer gets a stretch, and Salt has to take evasive action the inside of turn 1.
Yeah, DeBoer was very close to hitting that wall, managed to stay off it. Now trouble for the 777X of Steve Hess, the sophomore Thunderstock driver, with tough luck here tonight, and he pulls it to the infield, so that moves the 71 of Frank Turkey Jr. into a qualified spot, but here comes Melissa Miller in the 93.
I gotta wonder if that was a flat right front for Hess, because the way it just pushed over the berm. So far it's Winger, Pete Reed. Then you got Carl Salt hanging on to the final transfer, well, I shouldn't say transfer, the final redraw position. Then DeBoer is right there trying to knock him out of the top 12.
Yeah, DeBoer had trouble earlier in this race, but now fights back to the inside of Carl Salt. Trouble for the 117 of Don Wilson. He'll take that to the pits, but we stay green once again with 3 laps left to go this time by.
Winger just waxing this qualifying heat race. Normally with fast car, slow car heats, he's got to battle the best every week in the heat. This has got to be kind of a breather for him tonight. Reed is there, but the best battle right now is for third as Salt pushes way up over the berm.
Yeah, that allows DeBoer into that third and final redraw spot for the moment. Here comes Salt recovering, though, in the 81 behind them. A good fight still for that transfer spot between Melissa Miller and the 71 of Turkey.
2 to go as DeBoer holding off Salt. Here, Salt again with problems as he slips up to the top side of 2.
So Winger going to come around to get the white flag this time by. We'll keep an eye on the final transfer spot. That is currently being held by the 93 of Melissa Miller, but here comes Turkey to the inside. Miller slides up way high.
She had it there for a moment, Tom. He just lost it over the berm. Now we watch as Turkey works his way to the inside of 1, and Miller still trying to grab that final position.
So Winger gets the win. Second will be Pete Reed. Third still up for grabs between DeBoer and Salt. DeBoer will get the third and final redraw spot. Then it's Salt, then Graham, and then at the line it will be Turkey with the 6th and final transfer. So that puts Melissa Miller, Terry Martin, and Brady Longboat, along with Steve Hess and Don Wilson, into the B main. He raced number 3 of 4, now rolling onto the for number 2 on the inside from Victoria, the Affordable Portables, Port Dover Auto Parts 84 RK for Ryan Beagle. On his outside from London, the BDS Enterprises, Jim Baker Trucking, Wells Foundry number 9 for Dave Silverthorne Jr. For number 3 on the inside from Hannon, the Cousin Sheet Metal B23 is Dave Bittner Jr. On his outside from Caledonia, the Ancaster Embroidery 119 for Sean Quinn. Behind them, it's the 13X of Craig White, the Affordable Towing and Recovery 911H for Jamie Haza from Brantford, the 40 of Derek Liverance from Brantford in the Affordable Towing and Recovery car. Also out there from Flamborough, the number 55 Burger Barn Ace 1 construction car is Laura Hughes, and from Jerseyville, the 53 Logan Schwedick. So again, 11 cars, the top 6 will transfer. Everybody else will head to the B-Main. Here we go on heat race number 3.
A couple of fast ones in this one. And Mark Fawcett on the inside here, the Bailey 49, Ryan Beagle, Silverthorne right now battling for that third spot. Bittner was quick in time trials in the 23.
We'll keep an eye on Fawcett, his first start of the year, and he set quick time, set a new track record in time trials earlier tonight. But so far it's Bailey with the advantage early on.
Tangles a bit with Ryan Beagle. Fawcett trying to come back underneath Bailey, but the 49. The Brewster Baker 6-pack look-alike here to the top side of 4. And on the bottom, Fawcett now up to the middle. Silverthorne wagging the tail of the 9 on the top of 4.
So right now the redraw spots are being held by Bailey in the 49, the 32 of Fawcett, and the 9 of Silverthorne. The transfer spots are being held by Beagle in the 84, the B23 of Bittner, and now the 119 of Sean Quinn as he gets to the outside of the 911 of Haza.
As they work it here onto the front stretch, Bailey to the top side. Once again, right up to the front stretch wall through the middle of 1 and 2. That opens up the inside for Fawcett, and he gets a bit of bite and pulls up on Bailey.
Now Silverthorne with trouble in corner 2. That allows Bittner and Beagle up into that fight for third. Here comes Fawcett to the inside of Bailey in turn 4.
Bailey still right on the outside lip of the track. and Fawcett here on the inside of 1 and 2, right on the extreme bottom. Silverthorne still holds the final redraw position in the 9, but Bittner is coming after him.
Yeah, Bittner's got the teeth of the shark pointed right at the number 9 of Dave Silverthorne Jr. and now gets to the inside out of corner 4, looking for that third and final redraw spot up front. Fawcett is still right there on Dave Bailey.
Bailey to the high side of 3 and 4. Fawcett right there waiting for an inch. Can't quite find one as they come down with 2 to go, but Fawcett's up on the wheel here as they enter turn 1.
Trouble on the 53 of Logan Schwedek as he elects to stay on the track now. Thought he was going to take it to the pits. Mostly green with Dave Bailey still out front. Fawcett now to the inside quarter panel on Bailey.
The race isn't really meaning much here. They're both going to make it in the redraw. But a bit of prestige to say I won my heat at the Brock Leonard Memorial when there were 44 cars would mean something. And now Bailey sees Fawcett on the inside. We got a race into 3.
Yeah, Fawcett got the nose out front there just for the moment. Who's going to get this heat race win out of corner 4? Bailey gets the better run and he will get the win. Second will be Fawcett. Third in the final redraw spot it's Silverthorne. Then it's Bittner, Beagle, and in the final transfer, Jamie Haza. Heat race number 4, fourth and final race for the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstocks heading onto the track, starting on the pole of this. On the outside of row number 1, his first visit to the track this year from Ridgeway, the 711 of Paul Rochelle. Row number 2 on the inside from Port Robinson, the 108 is Billy Bleach Jr. On his outside from Hagersville, the Bomb Energy OS TTC 24 for Blake Bomberry Jr. Row number 3 on the inside from Caledonia, the Rochester Nighthawks 85B is Ryan Dinning. On his outside from Oshwegan, the Hess Autotech Smith Ceramics Townline Variety 7X for Chase Hess. Also out there, the 77D from Grimsby, it's Rob Disher. On his outside from Brantford, the West Valley Shed in a Day KD Renovations 13, Casey Huffman. From Caledonia, the Shoeless Joe's Coors Light Metalworks 88 for Jesse McDonald, the 8C of Roy Crawford. And from Guelph, the 52 Knowledge Computers car for Tony Fraser. Here we go on heat race number 4.
Final qualifying heat for tonight's Brock Leonard Memorial 50-lap event. Richardson and Rochelle go side by side through 3 cars wide behind them.
Down the back straightaway, Richardson on the inside. Paul Rochelle, don't see him very often. He is a Humberstone regular. Right up at the top of the points, and look at this pack of cars off of turn 4.
Rochelle grabs the lead, ducks down in front of Richardson into corner number 1. Bomberry and Bleach now. Bleach in the 108 will make the move. He lifts a little bit, and Dinning gets into the back end of him.
Yeah, he got on the inside. Richardson got a bit loose, and Bleach had to back off the gas. Rochelle smooth and steady off before as Rochelle leads it, but Richardson's got second. Bomberry squirting up into third now.
Yeah, the 24 Blake Bomberry has been getting better each and every week. Very impressive, and has been in contention for heat race wins, running right now in the 3rd spot. But here comes Bleach back in the bottom side in the 108.
Yeah, I'd have to say the car's been getting good, because when I started here, Bomberry was the dominator, winning every single week. They finally got the 24 car where they want it, and Blake is starting to show his skills again as he takes second away from Richardson.
Must be all that Bomb energy drink that he's drinking aboard that 24, running so well right now in the 3rd spot. Rochelle is your leader, then it's Richardson and Bomberry, and then a pack of 5 cars in behind them trying to find the transfer spots.
Rochelle here with the lead in the middle. Bomberry blasts to the inside, takes Richardson and almost gets up the inside of Rochelle.
Troubles for Rob Disher. He'll take the 77 to the pit area. So Rob Disher to the pits. The battle heating up again for second. Here comes Bomberry down to the inside of the 11 of Bryce Richardson.
And as they monkey around here in the top 3, Bleach and Hess are looking at them saying, we want a piece of the top 3.
Yeah, here comes Hess and Bleach into the mix as they go side by side down the backstretch. In front of them is Bomberry and Richardson door to door. Rochelle, the only one right out front. Clean air, no one to deal with it this time with a 2 to go signal.
Rochelle with the inside line in the middle. Bomberry now gets a good line underneath Richardson, and they take it to the backstretch, almost how they were 1 lap ago.
So this time by. It'll be the white flag for Rochelle. Bomberry now in second, Richardson in third, fourth is Hess, fifth is Bleach, and the fight is on for that final transfer position between Dinning and Jesse McDonald.
McDonald would love to grab the qualifying spot here and avoid the B main. As they come around 3 and 4, Paul Rochelle out of Ridgeway, Ontario, all the way down by Fort Erie, will win it here in the 7-11. Bomberry second and Richardson into the redraw. Hess, Bleach, and McDonald will qualify.
So Ryan Dinning, along with Roy Crawford, Casey Huffman, Rob Disher, and Tony Frazier will all go to tonight's B main. Time for the brand new division here at the Speedway, the Strickland's GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. If you're new to racing here at the Speedway, you're wondering what makes these sprint cars different than the ones we saw before. Well, these are, put it this way, a limited engine. In the 20th position, and it looks like a couple of cars, well, one car at least, Laura Hughes has chosen to start at the tail here in the B main.
I don't see Johnny Lowenberg out. I heard them call the 14 was not ready, so I'm not sure what ails that car, but what a penalty for Mark Voss, who time trialed first and gets dinged. That ought to be very interesting as we watch him try and pass about 18 cars.
4 of these cars move on. The rest will all load up and go home. A lot of tracks would love just to have this many cars for their main event.
I work at 2 of them, buddy, and I can vouch for that. Here we come off the 4th turn onto the green, and we are looking for 4 more only.
And they go side by side to the corner. Dale Jacari in that 8, smoking a little bit out of the left rear. So keep an eye on that Monte Carlo as they work it down the backstretch. Dinning, your leader.
Myers on the inside of Anderson, trying to get him up out of the groove as they get into 3. Miller's quick normally here in the 93. She runs in 3rd.
Rob Disher makes contact with Quinn Fawcett into the wall. And that got ugly in a hurry as we continue green flag racing somehow.
As they work it off the 4th turn, Denning with the lead. Jacari here in the 8th. Then you got Miller and Myers.
How bad do they want to get in the feature? They're beating and banging. Murray Nichols involved there with Logan Schwedick. And they will drop back to the tail of the field. Meanwhile, Ryan Dinning on cruise control. Look at Jack Myers shooting up into quarter number 3.
Myers on the outside of Miller here, who's holding a pretty wheel up in the 4th turn onto the stretch. Here comes Myers back to the bottom. Not full-time racing, but he's back here tonight.
Running for 3rd on the inside of Melissa Miller. They go wheel to wheel now down the backstretch. And now Dale Jacari is going to be in the mix here as 3 cars battle it out for 2nd.
Into 1, Ryan Dinning with a full straightaway lead over the 8 of Jacari, who's got Miller and Myers behind him. Tyler Anderson, his 2nd week behind the wheel, the 85H, would love to pocket 1 and get in the top 4.
Coming down, it's already the cross flags. Halfway for Ryan Dinning in that 85B. He is your leader. Then you've got the 8 of Dale Jacari 2nd, Jack Myers 3rd, Melissa Miller 4th. Those cars, as it stands right now, would move on. But right now, Anderson trying to get in the mix. He's sitting there in 5th.
He's very smooth, just taking his time, biding his way. As they go 3 wide, he's got to start licking his lips, thinking, oh yeah, it's starting to come back to me.
And another guy we need to keep our eye on, that 777X of Steve Hess. He's worked his way closer to the front and within striking distance of a transfer position.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th slip up high as Anderson continues to rim the bottom here in 1 and 2, trying to find a way to get to the back door. So far, it's Ryan Dinning into 1. Melissa Miller with Myers blasting to her outside, and Jacari coming into the clutches of Anderson.
One of the fastest cars right now on the lap times is the 777X of Steve Hess. You see him into the picture. He started all the way back in 17th starting position and now is right there battling for 5th.
Working to the outside of the 8 of Jacari, and he's going to come around Anderson. Anderson battles back, but this should be an easy one for the 777X into 1 and 2.
So Steve Hess and Anderson go side by side. The 85 and the 777X, they are the 2 cars battling it out for the last transfer spot. Only one will get in.
Anderson looking good here. As Dennings into 1 and 2, white flag is out. Who's it going to be? Hess or Anderson? Hess loses it in 1 and 2.
That opens the door for Anderson. He'll slip back by, but look at the run now by Hess down the backstretch. At the front, Dennings going to get the easy win. Who's going to grab it? Hess gets into the back of Melissa Miller.
And that will open up the inside for Anderson. Miller will come through. Hess will not qualify. He will be the car.
Wow, so put Denning, Myers, and a big fire in the back end of the 66 of Brady Longboat. Big collision on the front stretch with Laura Hughes. Fire looks to be out on the bottom of the 66 up in corner number 1. So that's good news there, and a big hit on the front stretch for Laura Hughes. You can see the fluid all over the front stretch now, busted the radiator in that one. She rolled that car earlier on in the year, and the car looks worse now on that collision than it did in the rollover. So Denning, Myers, Anderson, and Miller will all transfer to tonight's 50-lap event. Everyone else will go home. Clinton Jeffrey up in corner number 1. He's right on the scene there with Brady Longboat.
Yeah, the fire's out here in turn 1 for Brady Longboat. Safety crew looking under the back of the car to determine whether it is a gas or oil fire. It might be out of the gas tank here. But either way, they've got this under control, and yeah, there is a fuel problem here on the Longboat 66. We'll get over here and check what happened to the 55.
We'll have you get out your tickets for the 2-seat sprint car ride. We're about to draw those numbers, so get your tickets ready for that. If you bought one for a chance to go for a ride, the 2-seat sprint car brought to you by Renway Energy and Cool Kids Ice and Water. Giving away one ride here tonight. The winning number is 669-824. 669-824. If you have that number, come up to the announce tower, claim your prize. You're going for a ride of a lifetime in the Renway Energy Cool Kids Ice and Water 2-seat sprint car. Again, that number 669-824.
Well, Roy Crawford okay down here in the 8C, and Laura Hughes, as you can imagine, fairly dejected, but okay. Major right front damage to the 55. It was just back out of the sick bay weeks ago. So they will have a lot of work to do on that Burger Barn 55 again.
So that brings us to a brief intermission. And I believe they're going to do a little bit of track prep here before the features.
Real fireworks to come. How about it, Ashweekend fans? Let me hear ya! Field will get in the proper lineup and we'll be ready to go here. 1 or 2 more laps and we will turn it up for 50 laps for the Thunderstocks. "44 cars came out tonight. We couldn't be more proud of the field we have here at the Big O. I want to thank all you fans for supporting us each and every week. The lights are out. Are you ready? Time to give away almost $2,000 tonight to the winner, $1,800, courtesy of Gill's Auto Aftermarket.
Dale Shuneman throws the double green flags. We're underway here in the Brock Leonard Memorial 50 lap, and they're already 4 wide into corner number 1 and 2.
DeBoer will be the first one to lead him on the back straightaway, but here comes Bailey, Richardson, Van Wart, and Bomberry.
They stack them all up through 3 and 4. Bailey on that bottom side, hugging that concrete wall. It'll be Bryce Richardson that leads the first lap. 49 more trips around the speedway.
Richardson through the middle. Here comes Bailey on the bottom. The 49 will nose out onto the back straightaway, and they will set off to charge into 3.
Bailey and Richardson, a pair of Camaros at the front of the field. Now the point leader, Wyatt Van Wart, works his way into the 3rd spot in that green 04.
Van Wart can get it done, so can Rochelle as he gets on the inside. Pete Reed, Silverthorne, and Thompson a little bit back behind them, but here comes Winger in the 2.
Dave Bailey cruising out front in the Brewster Baker 49 look-alike car. The Gibbs Action Sport Ride leads the lap. Bryce Richardson second, and now Wyatt Van Wart in that other affordable towing and recovery Thunderstock right now all over the back bumper of Richardson.
Reed pushing up a bit off the bottom of 2. Back to 3, though. It is all Bailey in the 49. Then a couple of mean green machines coming up in 2nd and 3rd.
Bailey across the stripe will lead the 4th lap. Here comes Van Wart. He works to the outside of Richardson. Wheel to wheel into the corner. Van Wart grabs second for a moment and now gets the momentum to slot himself in behind the leader.
Rochelle has moved into 4th in the 7-11. He will try to work his way on the back door. Richardson, but has a long way to catch him. So far, it's Bailey and Van Wart with Richardson seem to be the class so far.
Single file at the front. It's getting a little more dicey in behind from 5th on back. Dave Silverthorne with DeBoer, Thompson, then Reed and Winger all there in the top 10 duking it out. Jim Lampman in the 28 with a flat tire on the right side. I believe it's the right rear on the 28 of Jim Lampman.
Horrible break for the 28 of Lampman, and he might just have to take it off to the pits now. That'll be the end of his night. Tough break for Lampman here in the 28.
James Thompson in the 00 has no left front wheel.
Where did it go?
Watch the 00. He's still going strong, but he has no left front wheel. It's sitting up the high side of corner number 2 of the entry to the pit area.
That is unbelievable.
He's going to pull it off. He just passed his own tire there, but it's up against the wall there, so it should be out of harm's way.
First time I've ever seen a car go with no left front and still do well. Lampman trying to hang on for a lap or 2 in case he gets the yellow. Does not get it. He will relinquish the car back to the pits. Now, a new leader. Wyatt Van Wart has gotten around Bailey.
And they will start catching lap traffic soon within the next couple of laps. Bailey, though, not going away as he works on the back end of the 04. Wyatt Van Wart, he'll look down to the inside, wheel to wheel through corner number 2.
Problems for Carl Salt in the 81. He's slow on the front straightaway as well. 81 car coming to a rest on the top of 1. Going to try and nurse it off if he can.
Leaders across the stripe. Wyatt Van Wart leads that lap in the 04. Bailey, though, on the bottom side. They work through lap traffic. Bailey gets pinched off. He has no room. Van Wart will squirt by on the outside.
They're watching to see if Salt gets off in the 81. They get up here and out of 4. Wyatt Van Wart and Bailey trying to get around Miller and Haza.
Yeah, I don't think 81 of Carl Salt is going to make it, and that will bring out the yellow flag. So the yellow comes out on lap number 11 for Carl Salt in the Great Lakes Brewery. Canuck Pale Ale Instant Insulation Brantford Culligan car number 81. And just to the right of Carl Salt is that left front tire of James Thompson.
Well, they've told one of the trucks to push the 81 and one of them to grab the tire of Thompson.
And that extra safety truck will go and get James Thompson's left front tire. He did a nice job running a number of laps without that left front. We got the 48 and the 911 listed as the top 2 in the live scoring. So we'll have to reset that.
Yeah, sometimes when they roll under the stripe, depending on what the timing and scoring adjustments are being made, it will reset it. But once we get going green, it'll all shake out.
So both Thompson and Lampman back out onto the track. New left front for Thompson, new right rear for Lampman. The leader, Wyatt Van Wert, chooses the outside line. Dave Bailey, second place on the inside. Then it's Melissa Miller, the lap car in the 93.
Here we go. Green is out again. Bailey and Van Wert get on the loud one. Up into one they go. Bailey down on the inside, the 49. Van Wert on the top.
Now Pete Reed, he's worked his way into the fight as well, as it's an all Camaro top 5. You've got Van Wert, Bailey, Richardson, Pete Reed, and now the Big Moose Deuce is into the top 5.
Only one in the top 7 that isn't is the Silverthorne. I believe that's a Nova. As they come here, no, that'd be a Monteboo, I think, onto the back straightaway. It's Van Wert and Bailey.
So the top 2 continue to go at it. Wyatt Van Wert and Dave Bailey. Van Wert will lead this lap, complete lap number 13, as the top couple of cars have broken away a little bit. Pete Reed hanging there in 3rd, and it's a 3-car fight for 4th.
Winger on the move in the Deuce. Coming up here underneath the Richardson 11R. Van Wert has had the field covered on many nights so far, and Bailey always quick in whatever he's driving on whatever kind of track.
Bailey hanging right there in that 49, running in the 2nd spot as they go down into corner number 3, and then it's single file behind them. The next closest battle for position is right now 8th, Trevor DeBoer, who's showing a little bit of smoke as he races with the Rochelle 711.
Van Wert to the high side of 2. Bailey working on the inside in the number 49. Up there, Van Wert running his preferred line of the car. Doesn't seem to be working at all. Just cruising through the turns.
Correction on that, the smoke I'm seeing actually coming out of the left side of the 1 car of Chris Dickey, so we'll keep an eye on that. Not slowing him down as now he works to the inside of Bryce Richardson for a spot.
Dickey on the move on the inside, clears Richardson. Now he'll look at Silverthorne. Bailey still all over the back bumper of Wyatt Van Wert. Van Wert steps it up high, and Bailey will charge to the bottom.
Another good run here at the leader. Dave Bailey running down to the inside of the 04 of Wyatt Van Wert. And now it looks like we got a flat tire in the 71.
Frank Turkey headed for the pits in the 71 car. Van Wert with the lead, but keeps opening up that turn 2 door for Bailey.
This is what we saw last year between Carl Salt and Corey Turner going for the win in the Brock Leonard Memorial. 2 cars out front, going at it lap after lap. We're seeing it again, 2 different drivers this year. But lap traffic now, that's going to start playing a factor for these 2.
Bailey again better off of 2, but Van Wert able to maintain everywhere else around the speedway. And now he comes up on the back end of the Quinn 48.
Leaders work through the traffic. They'll get by the Graham 48. And now Bailey makes a charge down to the inside of Wert. Van Wert can't make it stick, and Van Wert leads them down the backstretch again.
Wyatt in the 04 getting about a 2-car length advantage through 3 and 4, but Bailey comes straighter off the bottom of 4, charging back at Van Wert. Another right rear flat for Jim Lampman. Must be a problem on the car.
So the outside pole sitter gets past in Bomberry as the leaders go by him. Now they've got a bit of empty space on the track to duke it out before the next lap car of Jesse McDonald. And there you see Jim Lampman in the 28 heading to the high side and to the pit area, I would imagine here. Yep, he'll take it into the pits.
Bailey looking to get under Van Wert, keeps trying to make that move. Van Wert sees the nose each time, so he knows his challenger is there on the inside.
So the leaders across the stripe another time to complete lap number 23, approaching the halfway mark here in the Brock Leonard Memorial. Bailey charges on the inside. He's got the lead for a moment, but Van Wert has all the momentum. He'll grab the top spot right back.
Jesse McDonald on the high side where Van Wert needs to be. Van Wert will show McDonald he's there and pull on through, but Bailey still coming back as he's starting to salivate, knowing where the leader's in traffic.
Bailey on that inside line. Lap traffic to the inside. The 911 of Hazel will be the next lap car. Van Wert moves by him. Bailey running a lane a little bit higher to get by the lap traffic. This time by It is halfway for the leader, Wyatt Van Wart.
Van Wart through the middle of 1 and 2. Bailey right there in the thick of the battle. Now Van Wart pinned up on the outside of Melissa Miller, but Bailey will take the same channel around the outside of the 93 as well.
Right now, third place, Lee Winger catching the top two, as we'll bring in Tommy Gooch now into the broadcast as the leaders continue to duke it out. John Cote going to the high side.
Yeah, Winger is definitely drawing in on the top two drivers now. The gap was over 3 seconds. Now it's down to 2.1 seconds as Winger, Bailey, and Van Wart work through the heavy traffic.
Another caution would certainly help out Winger in the 2. Behind him, you've got a good battle as Dickey holding onto that position with Silverthorne in 5th. Now heavy smoke out of the Bomberry 24.
Yeah, tough break for Bomberry. Started on the outside pole, and he's probably going to have to bring that one in another lap or two if the officials don't tell him first. Meanwhile, up front, Van Wart has now opened up almost a second lead over Bailey as we get into the second half of this race.
Dale Shunman with the black flag. Bomberry will concede as he slows down into one, and the pack bears in on him. 3 deep right there behind, and now at the other end of the speedway, whole bunch of smoke out of the McDonald 88 into 3.
Big fire now on the Bomberry 24. He comes to a stop in turn number 2. And now we're going to go red to get the safety crew over there as quick as possible.
Fire still raging under the 24. Bomberry safety crew on the scene now with the extinguishers, and they'll put it out. Race rescue there to help them get it over. Fire's extinguished, and Blake is out of the car.
So the safety crew going to work on the 24 of Bomberry. Again, he was the outside pole sitter, and a tough break for him as this 50-lap race is going to take a toll on some equipment here as we move past the regular distance that we usually run in the Thunderstock division. The longest features are usually 25 laps. Most weeks are 20. Bleach currently rounding out the top 10 in the 108.
White flags in the air. We're ready to go back to it. 29 in. Go. With 21 laps still on the board, still anybody's race, except for the guys who are down laps. They'll be hard pressed to grab the cash tonight. But if you're still on the lead lap, you still have a shot at Gale's $1,800 for the win tonight.
Right now, that's 18 cars still on the lead lap here. Actually, make that 14 cars still on the lead lap.
14 cars, still the shot at $1,800, 1,000 for second. Here we go.
So Van Wart pounds it down into turn 1, chooses the bottom side for the restart, even though he was running pretty well up on that top side. And now Bailey goes up top, and they go side by side into turn 3.
McDonald with problems. He'll limp it back to the pits. Off of 4, Bailey coming to the outside of Wyatt. Van Wart now going to do a switch and try and pin him on the inside.
Bailey sees an opportunity here to try to keep Van Wart down to that inside and get the 49 wound up on the top behind them. Winger trying to draw in on this battle for the lead.
Winger has cleared the second pack and now trying to chase down Wyatt Van Wart and Dave Bailey. Van Wart into the side of Bailey in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Van Wart caught that rut down there, I think, and the car moved to the right just a bit and caught the side of Bailey. And Bailey, none the worse for wear, now noses ahead out of turn 4.
As they work it back to 1, Bailey with the lead all by himself now in the 49 with 18 laps to go. Wyatt Van Wert and Lee Winger on it.
Bailey's buddy Lee Winger is back there in third and has caught the leaders now. Van Wert right on the tail end of the 49 and Winger right on the tail end of the 04.
Winger has certainly chased these two down, and now he goes to the inside. Loses the handle a bit, but gathers it up. Winger working on second already.
Winger's best lap of the race came on lap 25, a 19.9. He's the only driver in the 19-second bracket in this feature. Now 3 wide for the lead with Van Wert spurting up the middle.
Winger on the bottom, Van Wert in the middle. Now Bailey goes from first to third. Winger in the seconds. They shuffle the top 3 each and every turn.
Behind them, a good race going on for the third spot between Dickey, Reed, and Silverthorne. But up front, it's side by side now between Winger and Van Wert and Clinton. Does Bailey have a flat tire?
I don't see one, but he's certainly fading back on the 2 leaders. Maybe just taking a breather, but with 15 to go, you can't do it. If it goes green, you got to be on it.
Yeah, the last time through corner 4, Bailey cut a big rut down there. It looked like the tire was flat, but it is still up for him. Up front, it's Winger and Van Wert still side by side for the lead.
Winger drives it good off the bottom, but still has to pedal it coming out of 2. That puts Van Wert back to the point. Here comes Winger on the bottom again, challenging for the lead.
Winger to the inside, Van Wert on the outside. Bailey falling back now from this race for the lead. Winger and Van Wert starting to head back into traffic here.
Onto the back chute, they drag race. Working up to the back end of the Graham 48. McDonald pulls out right in front of them. And here comes Winger on the inside.
Winger gets to the inside and clears Van Wert for the moment. Van Wert had to take evasive action there to get around the 48 of Graham. And that moves Winger to the lead here with 12 laps left to go.
Winger's number 2 starting to smoke into turn 1 that time. Watch the car, Tommy. Starting to puff now on the front straightaway.
Yeah, and we talked about this race being more than twice as long as a regular Friday night feature, and definitely there was some smoke out of the number 2 there. Van Wert is not going away either.
On the front stretch for the last 2 laps, smoke out of the back of the Big Moose Deuce for Lee Winger, and there you see it again. More and more as he gets into 1. If anything, Lee is hoping that is just a leaky valve cover.
10 laps left to go. He's got to nurse that number 2 around for another 10 laps with Van Wert right on the tail end.
Van Wert is there, and if it is oil or something dripping here onto the track, it can also upset. And now the official's talking, maybe it's just body roll on the number 2. Tire rub possibly, Tommy. It looks more than that to me, though.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that number 2. Very loose now out of corner 4. Van Wert gets to the inside. And more smoke, heavier smoke now out of the number 2 of Winger.
No, that's definitely coming from the engine bay on the Winger, too. Smoke out of the motor. The leader, can he make it for 7 more?
And Bailey now is starting to draw back in on them. He's got a long way to go to try to catch them, but Winger and Van Wert have slowed down just a bit. Still more smoke now out of the Winger number 2.
It's getting heavier every lap. When he comes around out of turn 4, there will be 6 laps to go. Can Winger's car survive?
And again, really sideways out of corner 4. Van Wert changes lines now, tries to go back to the outside as more traffic is approaching for Winger and Van Wert.
The problem for Winger is if it's fluid coming out, it's going to make the traction go away on the 2. Try and look, see anything shiny on the car. Haza pops the tire right in front of the leaders.
Yeah, Haza does a good job to get to the inside. Winger and Van Wert had to go to the outside to avoid him. And now Van Wert's going to get pinched behind his teammate for a moment.
That gives Winger a 5 car length advantage back into 3. Coming around. 4 laps to go for Winger in the 2.
Winger now has opened up a lead over Van Wert. It's up over a second now for Winger at the front as he goes after this $1,800 payday.
On into 3. Winger coming around with that many laps to go. Trying to pray that he's got enough oil in the tank here to keep the 2 from seizing up. Oh, he gets into the lap car.
What?
Oh!
Bittner turned down right in front of Winger there.
Big hit there on the Bittner 23.
Yeah, that was a big hit. Winger went to the inside. Bittner didn't know he was there and pinched him right down, and Winger had nowhere to go on that one. And a lot of smoke now out of the number 2 of Winger. Van Wart had some damage there on the 0-4 after that exchange.
Now we get word that the 93 shooken up a bit with a sword.
So white flag out now. Winger is the leader for the restart. Second will be Van Wart. Third is Silverthorne. Fourth is Dickey. Fifth is Pete Reed. Then it's Bryce Richardson, Ryan Beagle, Jack Myers, Paul Rochelle, and Billy Bleach in the top 10 in the 108 car. No lapped cars in the top 10. And here we go. Green flag out. 3 laps left to settle it.
Green flag is out. Winger gets the jump on Wyatt Van Wart. Silverthorne now to third. Dickey fourth with Pete Reed in fifth. Here comes Reed, Dickey, Silverthorne all underneath Wyatt Van Wart.
Van Wart chose the top side there. That didn't work out very well for him so far as Silverthorne got to the inside. Winger would be loving this if he had a mirror right now.
2 to go for Lee Winger in the number 2. Wyatt Van Wart, Silverthorne in the 9. The top 3 with Dickey now trying to get underneath the 9.
Yeah, Dickey wants a piece of that top 3 purse, and he's up in there with Pete Reed right behind him. Winger now comes around. He will get the white flag this time by.
Oh, Reed hits the inside wall in the 0-5, and that's going to get Bryce Richardson. Jacked up all together. What a finish this is going to be.
And now they're hooked together down here as Richardson tries to get unhooked from the 0-5 of Reed. I think they're going to need help from the safety crew for that one. Reed really caught that inside wall pretty hard in the 0-5 and then shot up into the path of Richardson. And don't forget the 50-50 draw will be done after this race. So Pete Reed's got the window net down. His race is finished as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, hit the left front here a ton, folded up the rim. Doesn't appear to be a lot more damage on the Reed. Could have been a lot worse.
Nights and throughout the race season with all the latest news. And you can also follow on Twitter as well if you're a tweeter. I'm just a part-time tweeter. I find tweets you really have to come up with something interesting, and I'm not very interesting, so I don't seem to have the best tweets, but you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest news surrounding the Speedway.
So a ragged restart, but we're set to go here. 1 lap left to go with Winger and Van Wart up there to settle it.
Out of the back chute they go. Winger here in the 2. Comes around through 3 and 4. He will avoid the debris or catch it either way. Checkers out. Winger will win it here tonight in the 2.
So Winger gets the win, $1,800 to him. Wyatt Van Wart second, Dave Silverthorne third, Chris Dickey fourth, Jack Myers fifth, Ryan Beagle 6th, Paul Rochelle 7th, Ryan Dinning 8th, Trevor DeBoer 9th, and Bryce Richardson in the top 10.
So we'll send Tommy Gooch down to Mobile 1 victory lane to talk with our winner, Lee Winger. And they will have to go across the scales in the pits, so we'll have a brief delay here as we get the top 3 back out here. And then it's on to the GMC, the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car feature event, our final race of the night, 15 laps for it. Again, we want to thank the fine folks at Lone Wolf Fireworks, 2 locations to serve you, 1045 Highway 54, Middleport, Ontario. Open all year round. No tax ever. Gotta like that.
Stock feature winner tonight, Jason Catu. And Jason, teammate Kyle Rothwell wasn't there to steal it from you tonight. You finally got that feature win that you missed out on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they said that it was coming to me, and it looked like we finally made it stick this time. The Brian's tire machine stuck to the track. It was a little slick trying to get the track worked in. We kept our head cool, bided our time. There's 15 laps to get it done, and we were there at the end.
A bunch of folks helped you get here to Victory Lane. Who do you want to thank?
Well, we got to thank the complete Volkswagen crew from the Maryville track, Rob Golding, Kyle Rothwell. They all help out with the car. And got to thank Rocco Conte for giving up the ride in the first place. Got to thank Scott from Northtown Machine for helping out. And a huge thank to Brian Sims from Brian's Tire. Without him, this is impossible.
There he is. That's Jason Catu. He is your feature winner in the mini stocks. And now we've got Lee Winger and Wyatt Van Wert out here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he cleared the scale. He's ready to come out $1,800 richer. How about a hand for your defending Thunderstock champ and the Brock Leonard Memorial winner tonight, Lee Winger.
So here he is, Lee Winger, getting some grief from the fans, but 50 laps, a long time in these Thunderstock races, and the car looked like it might have been overheating there. The cautions might have helped you at the end.
I had a bit of transmission leak. Thought we patched it up, but I guess didn't do a good enough job. Maybe I can get the guy in the stands to come down and fix her up for me.
Well, $1,800 in your pocket here, and a bunch of folks helped you get here to Victory Lane and get that money in your pocket. Who do you want to thank?
I just want to give a shout out to Doug. It's kind of sentimental for me because his dad coached me in soccer for I think it was 3 years in a row. I grew up with Doug's sister and Mark. Brock was a great guy. Always used to come over and hand out a good chat. Can't say enough.
There he is, Lee Winger, feature winner tonight in the Brock Leonard Memorial 50. And now we'll come around and get a word with second place Wyatt Van Wert. And you did pretty much all you could to try to get that win, but $1,000 for second, not too bad. And we want to thank Gales Auto Aftermarket for that.
Well, of course, I have to thank Gales Auto Aftermarket. I have to thank Jay at Affordable Touring Recovery. And I also, I was running my line the whole race, and I guess the bottom line was faster. And once I went down there, I kept up with him, but that's about it. I couldn't get by him. It was a good race.
Well, good points night for you anyway. You're still at the top of the standings.
Yeah, hopefully I can stay there. Slowly catching up, though. I have to keep watching him. And that's it.
There he is. That's Wyatt Van Wert. Second place tonight. And third place, a hard-fought third place for Dave Silverthorne Jr. And 50 laps. You're no stranger to these longer races coming from the pavement side, but it's a lot of work out there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun at the same time.
Well, you got a bunch of folks on this car who helped you get here, too.
Yeah, first thank Gales Auto Aftermarket, Wells Foundry, Cathcart Auto Parts, Tamu, BDS Enterprises, Larry Knott, John Swartz, Lawnman Landscaping, and sums that up.
That's Steve Silverthorne Jr., third place here tonight. How about a round of applause for your podium finishers in the Brock Leonard Memorial 50?
I just got to come over here. Gail, thanks a lot, buddy. Gail from Gail's Auto Aftermarket. Gail, you've been around here almost as long as I have, buddy. What do you think of tonight's race?
Well, I thought it was a great race. Something I'm quite interested in when I come down here is the Thunderstocks. And I enjoy what I do for these guys in my shop up there too. I look forward to meeting different ones that come to me for parts. I try to help them out as much as I can. I'm a small business, but I enjoy this sport.
We appreciate your support, Gail. How about a hand for Gail? He gives us a lot of cash here to add to the driver's fund tonight. Without great supporters like Gail, we wouldn't be where we are here at the Big O. We still have one more feature race to come. We appreciate your patience tonight, but the track really came in for the 50-lapper, and we'll be ready to go with the crate sprint cars. They're firing up over in the pits right now.
And we've got Lee Winger here. He's going to draw the 50-50 number for us. Put down that big heavy trophy and pick out a number for us, Lee. And what number have we got?
020316.
So 020316, you have won $1,485 on tonight's 50-50. Again, that's 020316. Come and pick up your 50-50 prize at the base of the flag stand with our ticket sellers.
Again, we want to thank Gail Hill and the folks at Gail's Auto Aftermarket. Great supporters, and it's people like that who just love racing, want to support the sport, and are such a big difference in the sport. We thank Gail Hill and Gail's Auto Aftermarket. If you're looking for auto parts, make sure you check them out. If you go to OshwekenSpeedway.com, we've got a link that tells you right where to find Gail's Auto Aftermarket. Final feature of the night, coming to life over in the warm-up track, 15 laps.